discretion is advised.
Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 150. We are in patch 7.1.5. Tonight, we are going to be talking about all the random news in World of Warcraft. Legendary frustration. Things might be getting better. There were some changes made to the stuff we talked about last week. Seems perhaps some of the people that feel the way that a couple of us feel have taken to the forums and have caused the change. We'll talk about that later. And covering some... I've been in PTR all week, so we're going to cover a lot of PTR stuff today of just kind of the reactions of what I've seen in PTR to give you guys more information. But we have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. The wolves whose howl can signal death's coming, Lycan. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle Grandmaster, Jimmabanks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Here we are again in this, intimate one-on-one time that we have. Just you and I to connect and remember the love of why we found each other to begin with and get to connect with you guys and just be, one with you all. And whatever weird shit these guys do when they're muted. Sometimes I wish I didn't mute them and I would tell them I would mute them just so that I could have you guys hear what's really being said in the background. But I guess I'll unmute them now.
I have them all right here.
I'm Gucci.
You are not Gucci.
What's Gucci, my Donovan?
You're Pandarian right now.
Welcome back, guys. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the monk who loves his PWNCAST shirt because he has a PWNCAST shirt, but apparently needs a bigger size than extra medium, which I don't think they make extra medium. Maybe it's extra wide. Jimma.
No, it's extra medium. It's one of one, right? It's very exclusive, but I do love it. It's just the sleeves are too short, and I remember when I saw you and Ella at BlizzCon, I had like some khaki shorts on. You're like, even those shorts are too short. Like, what are you doing? So I always
who wears shorts? Jim wears.
Yeah. So I do want another PWNCAST shirt because I've always dug the blue.
I know, it's such a pretty blue. It's like we've stolen that color. I call it PWNCAST blue, and it's not our blue at all. I'm just taking this
get
color.
the copyrights down.
Yeah.
No, wait, who do we pay to change the classification of the name for it?
I know.
Crayola,
right?
We should get it in the box of Crayola crayons. It could be instead of like
PWNCAST blue.
what is it? Celerine?
Cerulean.
Cerulean. Wow.
Like, how about cayenne?
No.
I went to art school. I should know most of these colors.
I
did crush, before you say that, you did crush another wannabe PWNCAST YouTube channel. Like, I'm sure you could get a PWNCAST blue going.
These guys were from like...
That was hilarious.
What country?
Asia?
They were from some random country.
It was like the Philippines or something other.
Yeah.
Please don't take our name, because I will...
shut you down.
I'll get extradited to your country and knock on your door and tell your grandma that you're
and
being
then
a
never
jerk.
come back. So
I know. Then end up in a freaking... Have you guys seen Broken Down Palace? Which is not relevant to World of Warcraft whatsoever, but it's what it reminded me of.
nah, someone's gonna buy you and make hostile out of you.
So weird. I did also bring the priest who I'm pretty sure has bribed the RNG gods because I'm really getting sick of his good luck. So I'm going to need you to tell me what you have offered people because you now have your 4-piece on 2 different tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Explain this to me.
I can't get it on my main tune. I mean, I can't get trinkets.
That's Blizzard's fucked up sense of humor.
I still haven't gotten a legendary on my 4th 100, which I mean my 110 that the RNG is supposed to be higher, non-existent. So I have 4 now on secret, but
Funny you
wait.
would mention that.
But I'll never use it, so it's just gonna sit in my bank.
Yeah,
and
funny.
look pretty.
Funny you should mention legendaries and the way that they work. So while I'm introducing Rem, and we're just
Oh, was this a segue into his?
yeah,
introduction?
I'm just going to introduce him as the paladin who steals people's legendaries. So we are doing things on the druid, right? And it's our recently leveled tunes, and I'm trying to proc my legendary. So I'm trying to proc my legendary to drop because all my max tunes have a legendary. I log in every day. I do my emissaries. I've ran mythics on my druid. I'm 846. It took me 2 days to go from like.
Is that with all 3 relics?
Yeah, that's all 3 relics.
Really?
So,
That's it?
yeah, but 2 of my relics are crap. I need a better drop, basically.
Okay.
So every day I do stuff on the druid. I log on Bell first, then I do stuff on the druid. So me and Rem, we're besties in game. We're doing things. We're having fun. He turns in an emissary cache. What do you suppose he gets from that?
Resources?
I got.
How? And he has not played his druid in like 2
That's the
weeks,
best
guys.
part.
He hasn't played his druid in 2 weeks. I've been on my druid every day.
After we leveled to 110, it's been sitting there, and she's been doing world quests over and over and over and over and over. She was, what are you, 840? I'm 805.
I'm 846 item level. I've been doing my job.
Belle, you try too hard.
Oh, it's hilarious.
You try too
Imagine
hard.
my shock and surprise when he gets one in chat, and my response is, fuck you. And someone in
like
chat was
that
all,
sounds like
wow. And I'm like, fuck you 2 times. Now, the whole of it is, I'm not really upset because I do love the feeling of waiting for your legendary. So when I get the
No, you don't.
legendary, it's sad afterwards because then I don't have that excitement. So I do love the excitement, but I need someone to explain to me how someone who has not done a thing on his tune,
Literally nothing.
and I've been doing stuff every day, and he just, boom, here's a legendary.
No, you
Take it.
can't get mad
There's
at
a trinket, too, so it's actually pretty good for her.
You almost cut my head off when I got a legendary before you.
Even more because so Blizzard says the more you play, your drop chance and all this. What?
I don't believe that anymore.
I don't believe
'cause
that anymore
I've
either.
been doing that on my Paladin, and
It's all just a lie.
and I've been actually running around the zones opening the chests because that's how a random person in a dungeon at 107 had a legendary already. So, and it's
Oh,
not-
I haven't touched those chests, yeah.
so-
Good
So-
things come to those who wait,
So
guys.
Rem, now that we've all established that you're a dirty, filthy legendary stealer,
oh man,
welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
I've had it.
And I appreciate that it seems you and Secret have opposite parts. So it's a good visual. The parts in your hair, your
Oh, I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say,
Yeah,
they're both boys, Belle. Like,
They're-
what do you?
well, we
Very
haven't
chick.
confirmed. You
Let's
shared a
say
room
something,
with
but-
these guys. Well, you didn't share a room with Rem, but I don't.
Next year,
I slept on
No.
top.
right? You did.
Oh my, that's
Sure did.
interesting. So
Well, he was always the big spoon, so.
Any news?
yes, so let's talk about this legendary situation.
Let's.
So last week, I want to make sure I clarified the relinquished and dauntless tokens that you buy with Nether shards on Broken Shore. The vendor's right there in Deliverance Point. I had the opportunity of checking it out.
Did you say hi?
It's about 1,500 to 2K Nether shards. That's not the final version because it's PTR, but it's going to be about 1,500 to 2K shards. And it drops from all the stuff in Broken Shore. So when you're killing mobs, you're getting 1 or 2 shards and all that.
So you could literally just farm the place. if
There
you
was
really
plenty of
wanted to.
people in PTR when I was on that were calling out for groups to farm
Yeah.
it up. So which I'm working on that as well so that I want to test what happens when you get the gear. Like, how does the gear look? What is it? Blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah.
So I want to make sure that I'm clear. You purchasing that and doing your targeted slot for your legendaries does not guarantee that you will get a legendary. It's an opportunity. However, the way that it was marketed from Blizzard originally is legendary slot targeting, right?
Yeah.
That was the way that, and when I say marketed, I want to say it was probably from Wowhead. Wowhead probably made that assumption.
Right.
And then, they're the go-to for that kind of thing. So then everybody makes that assumption. Now, what has happened is they have revised it. The tokens obviously have a chance for targeted legendaries with the purchase of the Nether shards. It no longer says in the tooltip that it has a chance to grant a legendary. They'll still have a small chance to grant one, but it no longer says it no longer says has a chance to drop a legendary. So basically, I think what happened is not only me or other people who felt like I did, I think people were like, what the hell? Serious? This is what we're doing? We're buying legendaries now? I think that this was Blizzard's way of saying, oops, just kidding. This was not our intention. We don't want you buying a bunch of stuff just so you think you're buying, targeted legendaries for your slots. So I did appreciate Blizzard coming out and saying, just kidding, we're going to actually change this because we screwed it up. So...
And thank you to everyone who leaves comments, because every day when I rewatch the show, I always gives me something else to think about, or I learn from other people, I appreciate that.
And a lot of the comments were really good. A lot of it was food for thought comments.
Especially from the last episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like food.
You guys did a really good job on just giving us something to think about, because we don't have all the answers, guys. I could barely wipe my own ass. I don't have all the answers to life.
I wipe my own ass.
And the reason I can barely wipe my own ass is because my husband doesn't replace the toilet paper, and when he does replace the toilet paper, he doesn't put it on the roll, he puts it on the floor, because that's how we do.
She takes a picture of it and puts it on Facebook, which is funny because the roll is right there, but...
The brand new roll of toilet paper is on the floor next to the toilet instead of on the roll. So you have germs that are now attached. And I'm a girl, right? I have an innie. That means I'm getting personal with my toilet paper. Anyway, not important, and it's not WoW related. But
speaking of last show, do we know how the gravity works yet, or no?
No.
Yes.
One of the moments to highlight for the highlight reel for sure, because it is important for you to know that gravity has nothing to do with slow motion, because they are not interchangeable. A couple things to note: Gul'dan is opening an LFR, so we got that happening. It's the final fourth wing, which is great. Dark Moon Fair, it is here. It has arrived. Go do your Dark Moon Fair things. Pandaland time walking. By the time you guys watch this will be in effect. I cannot wait to not do it. But I'm sure someone will drag me in there.
The pet collectors are excited to buy the 2 new companion pets.
I'll probably do it for that, honestly. Even though, I don't really do the pet battle thing. I enjoy collecting.
If you have some badges already, you could possibly have enough to purchase them and not have to do any of those dungeons.
How much are they?
I think 2250 or 2200.
Whoa.
I have a lot of badges because I was saving for the mount, so I have a lot of badges.
Ooh, but would you waste the badge? Yeah,
I don't think I love pets that much.
Right, I agree.
I'm getting them out.
That's what alts are for.
Thursday is the developer Q&A with Holinka, and he's also going to be making some announcements about esports. Now, if you watch GCD TV, they actually are doing spring finals for the 3v3 for arenas. The spring, I think it starts sometime this week. The spring finals do. So
why didn't we try to qualify?
Because, Destro.
Because Bell doesn't do threes.
Bell doesn't do threes. But, so I'm interested to see what Holinka is going to have to say about the look of where we're going. And I'm excited to see the announcement for esports. Here's why, and I think we've said this a couple times. If they're going to be really pushing this esports thing on a competitive level for PvP, I think that this means more paying attention to the PvP community when it comes to changes and balancing and really putting a focal point on a very big piece of World of Warcraft. Whether we admit it or not, PvP is a very big part of World of Warcraft. It always has been. Yep. So I think it's good, and I think this bodes good news. It's like the third time today I've used the word bode, and I don't even know what it means. I've just been using it. I watched a show, and the guy said bode.
She was watching something earlier. It sounded catchy.
But I think that it's a good. I think that means good things on the horizon, and I like Holinka. I don't like him all the time, but I respect him, and I don't know what I was going to say, guys. I lost it in mid-sentence. But I'm excited to see what that means, so you can expect a full summary and reaction to that next Monday.
Why don't they give anything cool to the Raiders?
Well, and I think they've talked about possible competitive for PvE and what that might mean. Now, this could be a clue because the fact that they're tracking the Mythic Pluses on their website now, I think we could probably look for some type of competitions with these Mythics because that's money in the bank. Why is this money in the bank? Because they're smaller. It's easier to control a 5-man mythic group when it comes to this. Is remember we've talked about this is why they don't do battlegrounds for any kind of esports, is because it's too many people to control in a tournament. But a 5-man, I think that this is a perfect scenario for them to break into competitive mythics because of the timer, right? The timer, the timer in the chests are a game changer for being able to who has the quickest clear, right?
Yeah, but it's not even going to come down to just quickest clears. As you were saying that, it's going to come down to the least amount of damage output.
And like, their modifiers, their weekly modifiers that could essentially make or break you.
Who does this end in battle?
The challenge modes were really popular, so I mean, when there was actual timer for each server, it was like
right. It's probably going to become score based at the end of it. Like it's not going to be just a timer. It's going to literally be the more damage you take, the less you're going to have as points.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Like, because that's interesting.
Yeah, kind of like how with PvP, how like when you hit a certain level of health, like it's like
diminishing returns.
System. Yeah,
that's what's happening.
The Mythic Pluses was probably the smartest thing they've ever done. In truth, when it comes to major additions to PvE content, I didn't particularly care about the challenge modes, to be honest with you, but I
sure did. I just never did them.
Well, I love because it's ever changing, right? The modifiers are ever changing. It's scalable and it's just infinite in what the sky's the limit according to your skill and ability. And I think that makes it appeases several people. The little guy who wants to just do a +2 and then the big guy that wants to do a +15. It's a happy medium in between. Just don't ask me to do Halls of Valor.
I just do 12s.
I do Halls of Valor shit.
That's pretty good though. Still.
Yeah. So I think it's really great.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's excitement. So I do hope to see some PvE things in the works, and I'm excited for that because we have really good people in our guild, and I would love to see some people in our guild in these competitions. We have great guildies that are, we have, there's really too many to mention, but.
What if you did a competition within guild and made people form their own 5-man groups and then award for the best time and hook them up with something? I guess that's 5 prizes.
Oh, we could actually do that.
I do think that's actually, sometimes, Jimma, you're a fucking genius, dude. It's
and other times you're just a fucking...
Fuck.
Right?
Just kidding. I do think that's a great idea, actually, for a competition. We'll have to talk about that after the show. I like what you're putting down. Friendly nameplates.
I wish we would have had our 5-man group for a mythic when we went to BlizzCon. I really wanted to do that so bad.
Yeah.
You mean just run some mythics?
No, there was a contest at BlizzCon.
Oh, me and Seeker could just carry everything. It's okay.
Yeah. I do wish I had a DPS spec because
not with the DPS you put out last night in Raid.
Yeah.
That's because the target. Okay?
I saw that. So
the logs are out. Remedies.
You have been weighed and you have been measured. Okay, so friendly nameplates that are altered by add-ons. Add-ons cannot modify how friendly nameplates appear inside dungeons and raids. So basically, Blizzard they're removing that because they were used to automate positioning requirements because we're not allowed to have those visual cue overlays anymore for add-ons. That's been shut down. So it will only be for dungeons and raids. So if you have an add-on that is allowing the modifying of the friendly nameplate, this isn't enemy, this is friendly nameplate, it's not going to work because they're forcing it to be shut down. So I'm assuming they tell the developers don't do this shit.
Control V doesn't show. Wait.
You can't alter the look of the nameplates.
Okay, but you can still have. Okay.
Yeah, you can still have them off and on and all that, but you can't alter the look of the nameplate. So were they using
the nameplates as shown distance?
Yes, they're using it for positioning. They're cleverly using it for positioning, and this is only in Dungeons and Raids. This ability and add-ons, they're just not going to allow it to be a thing. So,
interesting.
Not a huge deal for me, but some of you.
It's pretty much a thing where they try to control it and. Someone found a way around it, and they didn't realize that they could. And then they're like, "Oh, hey, you can't do that now. No fun."
Yeah, there's no fun in the world of that's not allowed.
No
business. Grind your legendary.
Warcraft,
world full of Warcraft. Exactly. Arts and crafts, maybe.
Art. I mean, macaroni art, please. Yeah, let's go.
Bell's not down. I can tell.
She doesn't like macaroni, that's why.
So I'm going to do Bell's Bites earlier because it's
Yeah.
more information related, and that way we could close out with good word and good lore and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I talk more when I'm at the last of the segments, so I'm going to try to shut that off because I feel like I talk too much during my segments.
It's gonna be a 3-hour show, guys.
But we appreciate it.
So I've been in PTR all week, and I've been waiting until it was closer to them refining a lot of things because I hate spending all my time making videos only for it to be null and void a day later. It just irritates me. So I do have up on the YouTube channel, make sure you guys go check it out. I do have the artifact weapon trait changes, what that means, what you're looking at. It's a quick little 8-minute video. I'm pretty proud of it. Got a new format for the guides. Hope you guys
Looks
like
good.
it. Make sure you check it out. But in doing that, one of the things that they're doing with patch 7.2 is they talked about Legion assaults. Each zone is going to have an assault. They talked about it being very reminiscent of the launch, right? And we had to go and we had to thwart the invasion. Let me tell you what I love about this. Now, this is a requirement for...
Free XP again?
It's requirement for flying. You have to do an assault for each zone. So you have to do the Azuna assault. You have to do the High Mountain assault. You have to do all those zones in order to be able to get your flying.
Oh.
Now, I go to these zones like, we did this. It was great for 5 minutes, and then it was boring as shit, right? It was just pointless. It was monotonous. It was repetitive. Boy, was I surprised when it's a whole different beast. So I'm going to be releasing a video in the next couple days where I'm going to be highlighting what is going on here, just so that you guys can kind of see the playthrough. I think I did it in High Mountain. So you go there, you get the quest, you have to do you have to repel 4 portal zones, which is code for you have to just do a world quest in that zone. You have to do 4 world quests in that zone. This starts the kickoff for the invasion.
Nice.
Then this quest giver gives you a quest for another, and you do all these random things. You actually have objectives here to thwart this different things. Then, after you go through all these things, the final playthrough is you get to queue for a 3-man fucking scenario to finish out this assault. I was literally like, wait, what? And you get to queue for a 3-man scenario. I did it solo, but I'm assuming you could as a 3-man group. So if you're 3 people going to, grouped up, I'm assuming you could go in and do that scenario. I had so much fun. It was about 50 minutes in total to complete everything. I literally was so freaking happy that it was actually interactive. If they would have done this at launch, I think I would have had a different response for the Legion invasions. But
Right.
they're not always going to get it right, and that's okay. We're human. But get excited about this because even though you have to do it for your flying, it is definitely different. It's not, the same go and thwart some shit, kill some demons, and be done with it. There's an actual several little mini quests involved in being able to complete that. But I will have a video about that and highlighting some of the stuff because I got it all, including the scenario that we did. But I miss scenarios. I don't know if you guys miss scenarios. But I miss scenarios.
The 3-mans, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I miss those.
I like them as well, but after what? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but they were just so easy after a while, even on the harder
Right.
version, so they could just mythic it up like how we have them now.
Yeah, and I think I miss those, and I guess we can't cry over things in the past because you can't progress if we
No,
don't change.
because I would love to cry over the challenge mode gear from Panda Land.
I was gonna ask you, does anyone on the show have that gear? No.
Cody
No.
does. Hots, I mean.
Of course he does on
Hots
5
has it.
tunes.
Yeah, Hots has it.
I didn't think about it till it was too late, and that's when we were super farming like Siege and the
We
Airmen
chose
and stuff like that.
Skolomance for a challenge mode one time, and you had to use a macro to find what's-her-face when she mirrored herself, and I was like, fuck this, guys, I'm out. Like, I can't be a part...
She just leaves the other 4 people in the
Yeah,
dungeon.
the challenge modes are set up differently, so if you, like, right away... I don't know if it booted you out or what exactly. I don't really know what happened, but I know that we got booted out of there because we didn't. I don't know if we didn't complete it in the time.
No, you go in and then you would like right click your portrait and go to like click challenge mode or something like that, and then it would set it up and yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, get excited for that because I was super freaking impressed. There's some stuff going on with our little. It's our command center on Broken Shore, and I'm not even going to bother comparing it because Rem yelled at me when I made a comparison. He was like, I wouldn't make that comparison on the show. And I was like, whoa. It was
comparison?
reminiscent of a few things, but there's gameplay that I wasn't aware of that I didn't partake in Miss Pandaria that it's actually more like. But you're building. It's to
Like
me it
what,
was
like the tillers?
no. Well, it was reminiscent to me of Warlords of Draenor, where when you first got there, you built your outpost. That was what it was reminiscent of. But I was informed that is not what it's.
Well,
reminiscent
it's more complex than that. That's why
It is more complex because it's shared. So your
Yeah.
buildings that you're building, you have a mage tower that'll port you. You have your. This really should be saved for when I have the video because I got video of all that. But the Deliverance Point, which is it's the first part of. It's like your command center, and it has your vendors there and all of that stuff. But you have your mage tower. Everybody has to put in Legion supplies to be able to get that mage tower, and you have it for like 24 hours. But it's a cohabitational situation where everybody puts into it to be able to get it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, the progress of the building is like the opening Encourage and Quel'Danas and all that.
I don't know about any of that because I wasn't about that life. So to me, it was reminiscent of Warlords of Draenor because that's what I remember. But he was like, "That's not what I would say."
Well, yeah,
I'm
I
like,
would make that
So,
comparison.
really quick, you remember the content for Crossing Wilds and Pandaria? right?
I guess I didn't do that because I don't remember, or I'm just mentally.
Remember how they had this deal where Alliance and Horde fought in Crossing Wilds, and you had to build a base with like oil and kill the commanders and all that shit.
I didn't
That
do
was
any of
that was that was a little PvP zone, and
I didn't do any of that.
Oh well.
But I mean, it's like that where you collect all this shit and then you build up the base a little bit.
Right.
You get buffs
Hey.
and all that.
You watching? I'm gonna ook you in the doker.
Oh my gosh! So for those Legion assaults, you do need those. You need 4 zones. There's not one in Suramar. I don't think.
I
so.
mean that would make sense for there to be one there. So.
Yeah, but there's not one in Suramar. There's one in all the other zones, and they're on a same timer basis. It's open. It starts, and you get like an hour to complete it. And go in and do your thing. And you do need it for the Legion flying. Now, I already have 2 assaults done. I need 2 more, and then I'm trying to get my rep. The rep seems to be the most difficult part because the questing on Broken Shore is not really. The questing's kind of confusing. Like, I don't have an open quest, but I have world quests. So I don't know if I missed a step there, but it's a little bit confusing. So I'm going to have to go through more of that so that I can have a kind of a solid response. But I'm trying really hard to get that rep, but getting the rep is just garbage right now. I'm not. And it hasn't popped
Time
up,
consuming.
which is the Legion of the Army. What is it? Legion Fall?
Legion Fall, yeah.
Yeah.
Army
So
thing.
that reputation is going to be a little bit of a grind, but the rest of the stuff, you'll get the Broken Shore exploration right away because there's a few things it takes you to, and you'll go and get the flight pass to it. Some of the initial quests when you land, you'll get that. So for your flying, don't worry about it. It's not that difficult. The only thing that's going to be a little bit of a struggle is getting that Legion Fall reputation because you have to have.
But is that going to be attached to the Kirin Tor, like how we did? They have the weekly where
I'm pretty
you
sure
can
that it is.
choose your rep.
I think it is. I don't know. I would think so because it's considered a full faction edition. So I assume
Right.
it's also going to be in the rotation for the emissaries. Although I have not seen it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that I haven't paid attention to the emissaries that are coming out there. So
Right.
that in itself is the only thing that's a little like I've been doing stuff all week and I'm barely friendly with them.
You saw the change for Kirin Tor, by the way, right? For the world quest, they're removing everything but like the wind for you.
Ugh.
I'll do it for
literally
you. I'll
hate
do it for you,
all of
Bill.
that.
I
But
love that though. So
this week, I'll be releasing a lot of stuff from PTR on the channel, and then next week we'll talk about. Well, there was something else I wanted to mention from Broken Shore, but I have exploration stuff and beginning quests and some rando stuff and some other stuff. Also, it's important for you to note your mount quest is directly attached to your Pathfinder. Until you complete your Pathfinder, you do not get your mount quest. And I looked everywhere for it, and it basically, Blizzard has stated, when you unlock your flying, then you get your fancy mount. So you have to get your Pathfinder in order to be able to get that. Unless
Pathfinder
it
Part 2.
randomly procs for me later. I have not gotten that quest yet, and then I went and looked, and the last thing from one of the devs was you have to... When you get your Broken Isle, your Broken Shore flying, or your Legion flying, then you'll get the quest to do your mount. So I'm working. That's the only reason I'm doing it is because I want to get my mount so that I can do a video on it.
Is it like a specific mount that you're going to get?
Yeah. So because it's a class mount. So
Oh, duh.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's the class mounts. But
I was thinking it was something else.
I was running around in PTR trying to get the mount to the mount quest. I was literally like running everywhere, and then I had read that you need to do the Legion flying. So no matter what, you're gonna do this. If you want your mount, you're gonna do this. But I'm really sad because I see people in PTR flying everywhere, and I just want to go and explore places I never got to explore.
Right.
But
not yet.
then I'm gonna be depressed because it's not going to be on live, and then
It's not going to be real.
I'm going to have to redo all the hard work that I've done. So that's all I wanted to talk about for Bell's Bites, because I wanted to let you guys know that I did want to experience the invasions. I wanted to see how it was different for the like how we did the pre-launch for Legion. And I like it. I like the scenarios. I like the interactiveness of the quest. It actually felt like we had to thwart an invasion. It didn't feel like we were just landing somewhere and killing a bunch of shit and then going and landing somewhere else and killing a bunch of shit and getting a bunch of experience, and we were just power leveling alts out of control that way. It really felt like a nice interaction.
But it was so nice.
It was great, guys. Take my
we gotta
word.
thwart everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just like saying the word thwart because the
I can
quest
tell
was
you said it like 5
the
times.
quest was thwart Gul'dan. Remember that quest we did? It was
Yep.
thwart Gul'dan. Who even
Thwart.
knows what that even means? So,
Gul'dan does.
Jimma,
Yeah.
what hails in the World of Warcraft pet battle scene? Is there any sneaky underground like pet battle raves going on?
Not
like-
that I know of, but I'd like
Oh.
an invite if there is.
Right.
Maybe those days are over for Jimmabanks. But
BYOC.
right, maybe.
Isn't there a Molly pet?
Oh my.
Oh, no.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so like I'm going to talk about Lich King pets because that's kind of the theme. But I did want to talk about, I think it was last week or the week before, I mentioned those Death Knight and Monk pets, and I said that you'd purchase them with 10,000 resources. Now, a lot of feedback has been given, and Jeremy Fiesel was very kind enough to address that. And instead of me reading everything, I'll just highlight some of the points that, he appreciates everyone's feedback. So good job, pet collectors. It was mostly negative feedback, I think, because everyone felt that 10K resources, order resources to get these pets was just too much. So they've been reduced down to 1,000 order haul resources, which is much better.
Pretty drastic.
Right. And the hard part, obviously, if it's an alt, is you do have to max out your weapon, right? I think for the Death Knight, we said there was 3, right? 1 for each spec. So they wanted the bonuses to feel like a badge of honor for players that have unlocked the final ability for their empowered artifact. So for some time, they'll be pretty exclusive. And I think that's pretty cool as well. So makes sense for the Blood Knight and their bloody mount. Bloobity blah. So thank you, Jamie Fiesel, for addressing that. And I'm sure most of us are happy that it's not 10,000 order resources because that's a crazy amount of resources for a pet. And March is a big month for pet collectors. We mentioned it's the Time Walking, and there'll be 2 new pets available to buy for the first time for the Mists of Pandaria Time Walking. And then we've got another pet battle bonus event. I know not everyone's excited for that, but we'll have one starting
But
March
you are.
28th. I am. I did not take advantage of the last one. I didn't even do my weekly quest, which is embarrassing for the pet battle guy. So I will be doing that, obviously, starting March 28th. Now, the Lich King pets, very cool. I've mentioned this every week, how I've just enjoyed the research and reading up on some of these things. And I think for a lot of us players, forget pets in general, just the Lich King expansion was the best for a lot of players. A lot of good memories, so many friendships, raiding for myself. And at the expansion is when I really just started collecting pets. I started spending my gold on pets. So when the expansion launched for the first time ever, there was over 100 companion pets. It took us the 3rd expansion or 2 expansions after vanilla for us to go over 100 pets. So there was a lot of cool pets added. The one that I want the most, and I'll never get probably because I'll never spend the money on the collector's edition, is Frosty. I just feel like it's one of the best looking pets in the game. It looks like a little baby Cindergosa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing. It's an undead companion pet.
Buy it on eBay, right?
I don't have the money. That's what I'm saying. Like, I bought
Not when you got to buy chicken nuggets.
chicken nuggets, right? They're pretty good, actually. But I always said early on, and I'm never spending any money. I dropped $150 on Grunty. This is a long time ago. So that was...
Oh, yeah, and you bought the StarCraft Collector's Edition.
Yeah, I bought all 3 of them.
And you bought Overwatch, and I'm pretty sure you don't play
Oh
it.
my gosh, I don't. You and I both, we felt
I
like-
know, I played it for 5 minutes.
We always, sometimes we feel like these, like, so there's examples like the Treasure Goblin, right? That I don't think you can get anymore. That you had to buy the Reaper of Souls collector's edition. There's just certain ones you can't.
I have it, and I have I did buy
Right, and that's why you and I think, bought. I don't know. That's why I bought Overwatch.
I buy stuff I don't even play just for the editions because that's just how I am.
Right, so
Completionist. We're completionists, Jimma.
Yes, we are. We definitely are.
I spend my money on server transfers, so
I use mine on name changes, so it's all good.
You guys
you
do.
sure do.
And a lot of Warcraft
Memorabilia.
memorabilia. Thank you.
So
Apparel,
if you're a completionist really quick, Bell, does that mean we're going to do threes?
right?
Nope.
I'm sorry, the what?
Threes, 3v3.
Or 1v1.
I don't recall any of that.
Oh yeah, 1v1. Yeah. Is it on the calendar again?
I don't
Nope.
recall any of that.
She didn't get it on her calendar.
No, I literally didn't. That was totally not BS, guys. I know you thought I was bullshitting, but I promise you, I would not lie about it. I would be straight up and be like, I just didn't go.
I'm just saying someone with your email address accepted it. That's all I'm
But
saying.
it never put it on my calendar, and I think it's because I was using Outlook, which I started slowly swapping over back to Apple Mail. But I don't know. It was really like.
That's fine. It happens, you know.
I love you.
Anyways, derailed.
Secret Sauce. I don't think it does happen. I don't think it'll ever happen, actually. But anyways, Lich King, great expansion, memories, friendships. We had, for the first time ever, was the setup, right? Pets are now spells in our. You guys remember the old spell book? You'd look and you'd
Talent
see
tree.
all the
Yep.
well, the talent trees, of course, but also to the left or right of that, on the bottom right of your screen, would be you could look at your pets. And
Oh,
Blizzard
right,
tried to
yes.
help us organize them, and they were spells and summons. So very cool at the time. Obviously, we've got a much better view and setup now. And the first ever account bound pet was the baby Blizzard Bear, which I have, the 4th
I
anniversary.
have that too.
pet, right? You know what I don't have, Secret Sauce?
Is the mount
The what mount?
the BlizzCon bear?
Of course I have it. I'm the only one on the show that has it, silly.
You have that one?
Yes, on my Fairy versus BlizzCon, I was given it. Someone gave me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm special, right?
Yes, you
so
are.
You are
have-
very special. Yes.
I don't have the Onyxia Whelpling, which was the 5th anniversary. I didn't log in. I think I was just like taking a break from WoW. I think that was my first break or whatever. So I didn't get that, but the Blizzard did. What are we laughing at?
What BlizzCon bear?
There's
So-
a Blizzard Bear.
In
The mount?
2008, everyone who went and attended BlizzCon got a
You
mount.
went to BlizzCon in 2008?
I did not,
You didn't say
but
That's why I was
sitting-
literally like, my mind was
What?
just like,
No.
Blown.
Boom. No, last one was my second one, right? And the one before that, I was just sitting around talking about the Warcraft group that I created, and we're just kind of shooting the shit, a couple Blizzard employees. Very cool guys. Some from the Texas or, the site or whatever
Austin.
there at Austin. Good job. And as we're saying our goodbyes,
Austin, Massachusetts.
I call him the Ginger Santa Claus because he had this nice beard, and he just shook
I know
my
who you're
hand
talking about.
and he said, "Enjoy your first BlizzCon," and he gave me a card. So I look at it and it says 2008 BlizzCon Bear, and I'm like, I knew right away. I'm like, I don't deserve this. And
I would have beat you up and taken it
Right?
and your lunch money.
right,
I'd have sold it.
but because I hold my own, you'd have some bumps and bruises, and you
Right.
would not get the card from me.
By the
but,
time we were done, we'd both be dirty, Jimma, but I would put up a fight.
I was securing that card. I hid that card at a spot in my room, and I just was like, "Oh man!" So yeah, it was very cool. Anyway, so I do have
Interesting.
that, right?
Okay. I just was like, did Jimma lie? And had he been secretly going to BlizzCon
Yeah,
this
right,
whole
this
time?
whole time.
That's why I was like, it took me a second to register what you were saying.
Well, I said it on previous shows. I actually looked up how much it was worth, and it was $1,000 US, which is a lot to a Canuck.
That's like 7 pairs of shoes for you.
right?
It's at $850 right now.
Right? Ooh, on sale for everyone listening. So, but I just, for someone who gave me the mount, I felt like it was my duty to learn it, and so many people would kill for that. So I do have that. I don't have the Onyxia Whelpling, and also the pet shop was like, I think 2009. Where did I put that? Anyways, you could now finally buy pets for the first time ever in the Blizz store, and there was the Panda Cub and little XT. And I think one of them was from Make-A-Wish Foundation. So obviously we know that happens a lot now. And they raised over $1 million.
Isn't it the
So
Brew
that
Pub?
was really good.
Brew Pub?
Way before that. Yeah, even
Okay.
before that, it was the Panda Cub and then XT. I hope I'm saying XT.
It is little XT. I have it.
Well, there's KT as well. So I just don't want to say the wrong one, but I've got all these notes scattered around and I'm all frazzled now. So we don't care. So anyways, we raised a lot of money, and it was just also funny. I got to warcraftpets.com, which is a great site for pet collectors, and it was some of the posts from 2008. So there was like, rumors coming out in Wrath of the Lich King, a penguin pet, and it was just Pengu.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. So it was just funny reading that, and just to kind of talk about the site creator, and it was her first time being put in the game. So Brianni, the site creator, was introduced as an NPC as well. So grats to you. Obviously, you've been in the game for a long time, and what excitement for her, obviously. Being an NPC, and that's where we would get a lot of pet items. So that was very cool, and there was just all these different promotions going on. So again, Lich King, I didn't have a long list. I didn't want to read a long list, but so many cool things introduced, obviously, in Lich King. And if anyone wants to donate a collector's edition of Lich King to Jimmabanks, I'll accept it.
We know you will.
Give you a shout out.
One of those bears on eBay is like $1,300.
Yeah.
That is
well, Rem said he just
crazy.
looked it up. He said he found a deal for $850, Bell. So if you want one,
No, I'm not about that life.
ask. No, I know.
I'd rather buy cutting boards.
That
If
800
someone
bucks.
wants to buy me the little magic chicken, I'll take it.
I tell you my stupid story about that. So I bought one for 150,000 gold, and they were just so cheap. I'm like, I'm going to sell it for 25K profit and buy another one. I put it on the auction house for 17,999 gold, and the magic rooster mount was instantly purchased, and I'm an idiot.
Wait, what?
I bought someone sold, I bought a mount for 150,000 gold.
Right.
I sold it for 17,999 gold.
You are
Because I
off.
wanted to quickly sell it and buy it. And just to add the icing on the cake, I was on my hunter, and my pet's name in the screenshot is "I'm with stupid." So
Oh,
Wow.
Very much so.
fitting, right? So
that hurts my feelings.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
Did you cry?
I didn't. I just felt like a schmuck because I didn't get a chance to buy one again. And that was the second one in my possession through my WoW career, and I still don't have it. So
I was going to say, you had it in your hands. You should have just learned.
in my little orc hands at the time, but yeah,
Wow, that hurts.
That would have
me.
gone across your whole account now, though.
That's
Right.
rough.
yeah, right.
Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, it happens.
Uh,
We all make that mistake.
It's only.
But we all don't make that mistake.
I know. I know.
Just so we're clear.
I was just trying to make him feel better. That's
But
all.
I have sold something for less than what my intention was. And I've taken advantage of somebody who I know meant to sell it for more. And the rightful
all
thing
done
to
it.
be with me as I'm trying to get right with the RNG gods in life, I should have been like, hey, this was a total steal. But
And WoW players, you know how we bash the community sometimes? There's some honest players. I met a guy who I sold like 50,000 gold worth of pets, and then the other ones he wanted, I COD'd him, but I screwed up and I sent him gold and the pets. Right, I felt so stupid. So those are my two dumb moments. This guy, he's still on my
when
battle
Jimma
tag.
buys his own pets, he buys
my
someone
God.
to
Yeah.
take his pets
I
off of
gave
him.
him
Please,
gold.
can you get rid of these, please? I don't
He
need
sent
them.
me the gold back and the gold for the pets. So shout out to all
That's
the
cool.
honest players in the community. There's a
That
lot of
is
you out
hilarious.
there.
I can't even.
It was bad. Those are my two worst
That's some
F-ups.
shit.
That's
Well,
amazing.
my sandstone drink I got for 15K because the guy meant to put it for 150.
Oh, nice. What was it?
The sandstone drake.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that-
Oh, that would have been back when it was worth a lot. Holy.
I only paid like 37 for mine.
That's when I started hustling. I used to slang those back in the day. I know Belle's like, it's not hustling. You're selling in-game items. It's not hustling.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge,
but
but I'm a little judgy.
Okay.
Just kidding. So, I thought the lore was gonna be about rogues. Then I forgot, and Rem told me what the lore was gonna be about. Then I messaged him earlier and was like, "Hey, Rem, what's the lore gonna be about?" When I was doing show prep, and he's like, "Hi, I already told you." I
just
forgot.
have Belle text. Hi.
I'm
Rogue,
like, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Rogue is gonna be soon, but because I did the night elf thing, I was gonna do humans.
So now we're going to talk about humans, which is great because Belle's a human. She's a
Me too.
great booty. So what are we... Tell me about the humans in World of Warcraft, because they're very different than the humans in, the real land.
RL.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We're the fantasy. They're the real world.
right.
But no, humans are not humans in our regards. They are actually descendants of Vicryl.
What?
Ooh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
Are
that.
you guys messing with me? Or
No,
did
we're
you-
not
No.
trolling. I literally didn't know that.
I'm a basic bitch when it comes to WoW lore. Okay.
You know, it's same concept as with the young Garl and the Tauren. So the Vicryl come down from Northrend, and they settled over in the Eastern Kingdoms area, and that's where they started to change into a smaller form of themselves. I don't know the reasoning, just
Mutation.
mutations, curse of flesh, and all that. And so you have them coming down from the northern area, and they are settling in lands of that no longer are there. You got Lordaeron, the Kingdom of Erethdor, all the places up north where Undercity is. Scalamance, Strathome, all those places used to be thriving human civilizations. And so the kind of like what I wanted to talk about is why.
Right.
So
Let's.
you have all the kingdoms combined, and they have the first alliance was just humans and dwarves as well. Sometimes when they wanted their end of the bargain, but anyways, you have Lordaeron as kind of like the center point of everything going on, and Dalaran, which is now Cairn Tor and all that, actually used to be a trading area. And so you have scholars and mages and wizards all meeting up in this place, and they're exchanging, and it ends up becoming a school of magic. And you have I forget what the name of it, but Perrinhold Keep was a smaller one. Strathome, which is an instance where we destroy all the undead.
It's entire city, yeah.
Yeah, and Scalamance as well was part of Lordaeron's kind of like suburb area in a way, kind of like the farmland. Andor Hall as well was within Lordaeron. So you have all these human towns, cities, kingdoms thriving, and something starts happening, and this is where we get into Arthas and Jaina and everything that shit hits the fan. So we have Kethazad, as you know, is now dead, but was a lich, which he was actually a trainee mage learning in Dalaran, and he was kicked out because he was messing with necromancy and bringing people back to life and pretty much bad shit. And so you have him wander off, and he is contacted by Ner'zhul, aka the Lich King, to spread this plague of undeath, and you'll be rewarded with power and all that grandeur stuff. And so you have him that actually starts in Andor Hall, which was a focal point for all the grain. And so they plague everything, and it goes to the cities, and it actually turns the peasants and everyone in the city into zombies, pretty much. Like, it doesn't like kill them and then rise them up. They shift into zombies. It's actually kind of off track, but in Warcraft 3, you actually go through a campaign where it actually goes in depth on what goes on with that. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the whole
That's pretty neat.
Warcraft, yeah. But so you have Kethazad spreading all this bad stuff, and so you have Arthas, which is now becoming a paladin, which I'll explain paladins because it's actually pretty cool. But Arthas goes to Uther, and he's going around each city trying to find out what's going on, for instance, because at this point it's just reports and stuff from different outlying cities. And so you have Uther and Arthas meeting up, and they find out that the Blackrock orcs are actually attacking as well. So this is just because you have the internment camps, and you have Thrall, all this going at the same time as with the plague. And so what happens is Kethazad and Arthas have an altercation, and then he informs of what's going to be going on, or what's going to be going down, and they go to, I believe it's Strathome first, and Arthas pretty much goes, everyone's already infected, so everyone's just going to die. so Arthas and Uther, they're all like, Uther's like, no, I don't care who your father is. If you're gonna be the prince and all that, I'm not gonna listen to you. He's expelled. Da da da. He runs off with his knights, or the Knights of the Silver Hand. And so Arthas rolls in and just kills literally everyone because he thinks he's saving them because they're already dead, et cetera, when there's many people that he could have saved. And so it's more of akin to kind of like with Sargeras, where he thinks he's doing what's best for the cosmos because, excuse me, the old gods are corrupting the world souls, and he's going around and killing all the world souls before they can corrupt them. Same thing with Arthas. It's this their story arcs is really similar.
Yeah, there's a huge comparison there.
But he's wrecking face in Strathome, and at this point he is still a paladin, but he's being called by Ner'zhul. And after wrecking Strathome, he goes and takes an expedition up north, and that's where he gets Frostmourne and he gets Frostmourne, and you have everything that happens that leads into World of Warcraft. And so the thing about paladins with the humans is, in terms of paladins for Azeroth, they were the first paladins ever in terms of definition of what a paladin is. So Northshire Abbey over by Stormwind is actually where it all went down. Alonsis Fowl, who's actually part of the priest order hall right now, was actually the one that commissioned and trained Uther and Turalyon and Tyrion and all the other firsts of the Silverhand to pretty much not really abandon, but switch their ways from a priestly, like Healy-esque deal to become warriors of light. And so you have them pretty much, instead of smiting people, they smite them with their hammer, and they're able to. They're pretty much like commanders of the armies. Yeah.
So would it be called hammering them then? Is that?
It's hammer time, yeah.
So basically, like they're infusing their weapons with what they're doing now. I mean, that's the way I would take it. So.
Well, that's what I was because you have them becoming pretty much warriors of light. Yeah, they're infusing their hammers with the power of the light, and they have the capabilities of healing, which you have the holy paladins and all that.
Right.
And it really makes me wonder why they don't have more race class combinations as well. Speaking on lore perspective for it, because you have trolls can be priests, they can use the light. Taurens can now use the light. So, I mean, if they can become warriors of light, why can't night elves?
Why can't Draenei's be rogues?
Because I don't think night elves should.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen a Tauren rogue? Because they're so good, you just can't see them.
Talk about not being incognito. Like, they're ginormous. Where could they, just don't.
I mean, I look at it this way. Draenei's are about the light. We all know that. However, there has to be some shady fucking Draenei out there that have done some super shady shit. That's all rogue-esque right there. I'm just saying.
Go into human brothels and.
Well, during WoD, you have the scouts and all that, the Rangari.
That's what I'm saying.
But anyways, I went off topic by quite a bit. But so you have the plague go on up north, and they have their own problems to deal with, and Stormwind is dealing with the brunt of the Orcish invasion, and they are decimated, and they're hiding out up north, I believe. Andrin Lothar and Jesus Christ. Lane's dead at this point.
Right.
You have they're all hiding up north because during the first wave of the Orcish invasion, Stormwind is actually decimated. It was destroyed. And while all the plague is going on, everyone's freaking out. They're moving more south because everyone's just dying. And this is where Stormwind is later rebuilt by the Van Cleef and his Masons, the Masons Guild, which was, I don't know if I remember telling you guys how it used to be Van Cleef was betrayed and so facto the Defius Brotherhood and all that. But yeah, the plague and Arthas becoming the Lich King is the reason why all the up north is just ruined, decimated.
Right.
And Stormwind is the last bastion of human race, pretty much, at this point. Dallon doesn't count because they're all up in the sky.
Right, but that's magical. That's something different. So that's interesting. I mean, I've never really looked at it that way. I mean, I know you can fly around, Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdom, and you can find little nooks and crannies of humans and stuff like that. But I mean, there's not actual.
That's only expeditionary forces from like
Right,
Cold Terrace
exactly.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not an actual hub, which other than Stormwind. So, that's kind of neat.
The Eastern Kingdoms is where the humans started, so that's why you just only see like pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere
You see
else.
just little keeps and stuff like that. So
Cool Terrace is on my bucket list. They need to add that content, by the way.
Eventually, 2 patches from now.
3 patches from now, guys.
I actually meant to say 2 expansions from now that patches came out.
I just want Cool Terrace and South Seas. That's all I want. And for the and I know you don't know who Cool Terrace is, but they are an island, and they are awesome.
I don't know who they are.
I'm going to pretend like I do, so I sound super smart, but I'm really not.
Like
I
I
bought
think
it.
he was talking directly to you, Belle, but I also don't know.
That was really interesting. I did not know that we are descendants of the Vicrolls. We're badasses. Have you seen the Vicroll females? Like,
Yeah, the Shield Maidens. Yeah, they're bad.
So I'm gonna just tell people in RL that I'm
descendant of a Vicroll because our game mirrors, right, our real life. So I think that's good.
Well, I mean, you look back at Neanderthals; they were bigger and dumber, because it's kind of like the Vicroll.
I love that we're covering the, races and classes and that kind of thing. I think that's pretty cool.
I agree.
You're a smart cookie, Rem, sometimes. I mean, you're friends with me, so that makes you, like, super genius. So, kudos on that. Before we get into the Week in WoW, I wanted to take a time to shout out. I did get some emails I haven't responded to yet, and it's not because I don't love you guys or don't care, but I've been having more teenage domestics this week, so it's left me a little in between with time, but I will be responding to your emails. But we had 2 people give us a rating on iTunes. Not enough people use iTunes. Like, everybody listens to us on the bulk of, I guess, those of you that listen or watch the show, you actually listen on audio via a podcasting app, whether it's iTunes or Podbean or Stitcher or whatnot. But the majority of our audience, it's not reflected on our YouTube because we get 35,000 downloads a month for the audio version.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's not
that's
reflected on the
big.
YouTube views. So, but it's good for us because we get to kind of see the back end of it. But
how do they see what hats Secret and I are
I
wearing?
know. I feel like they're
Why
really
would they-
missing out. But we entertain
they're
a
not
lot of
missing
people
much today.
right now. As people are listening, they're driving to work, and we're making their life better, or they're even at work, and we're
Yeah.
making their quality of life better because they don't got to put up with their jerk boss or that rude coworker that always eats your food
Oh,
from the
so
refrigerator. I'm just
Is it
saying.
not just your kids?
It is my children. So we got 1 good rating and we got 1 bad rating. So good
Ooh.
rating was 5 stars. Evelas, maybe, says great podcast. This was February 17th. I'm a little behind. I didn't know people were still giving us ratings, so I'm happy about that. This is a great podcast. Give it a try if you like WoW.
Yeah,
One of my faves I listen to weekly. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for
Yeah,
giving
super
me
thank
2
you.
seconds to review. We, us as a team, we love you. You can't see us because you listen on iTunes, but I just gave you a really awkward smile. My best awkward smile I could imagine and muster.
She did well, folks.
Now, then there's one that's the heading
I'm
of
interested.
it. The heading of it says horrible.
Yes.
And
the best
Photog
ones.
1965. Thank you for telling me what fucking year you were born.
Whoa.
Photog 1965. So I guess we could tell what target audience we're not hitting, right? With the age, because I know how old you are, sir.
It's all the cursing.
Horrible podcast and even more horrible guild. So I guess we can tell that you came to the guild.
Wow.
You were one of those people that probably didn't try to fit into the guild or even talk to anybody in guild. The fact that you were in the guild means that you're bitter, and that's okay because I love you. You could be bitter. Obviously, you still listen because you put ratings on iTunes. So I love you.
Is that all it was? It wasn't very.
That's all he said.
Damn it.
Horrible podcast and even more horrible guild.
I thought we were going to have a paragraph. I
Listen,
wanted to
it's
know
okay
more.
because I love everyone, even those that dislike us, and I'm okay with that. We cannot win them all, guys. We cannot win them all. But I do have some emails, and I'm actually going to read the emails next week, but I did get several emails that I wanted to read, but I need to space out the keeping the good times coming. But yeah, also to the one person who dislikes every single fucking video I post, whether it's a guide or whatever, there's one person that goes and dislikes every single video within about 20 to 30 minutes of it being uploaded. Sometimes I get a day or two break, but every single episode gets disliked by one person. They are in the United States.
That's someone still watching it.
They are in the United States. You hate me so much that you dislike the video. We don't get very many dislikes, guys. Occasionally, there'll be a controversial video where Belle will say something that she shouldn't, and people get upset.
or I have.
And people dislike it, right? So, but to the one guy who's disliking the video, just love me.
It could be a girl, though.
But let us love you. Girls
Oh,
don't
no,
do
it's
that
a
kind of
dude.
stuff. It's a
Did you
dude.
just
Girls
assume
don't do
they're
that.
gender?
I want you to let us love you. Let us love you. We are trying to let's cuddle. Let's cuddle. You can
I
cuddle
like
with Jim.
negative feedback. No.
I do. The negative feedback does the feedback, even if it's negative, as long as you're approaching the negative feedback in non-asshole fashion, I'll totally listen because the feedback is necessary. But if you are going to be a prick and call my podcast horrible, we are many things, sir. But we are not horrible, Mr. Photog 1965.
AKA Fogey.
I'm just kidding.
Well, be nicer to your peers.
Fogler.
We love you, even though we're a horrible everything. Everything we do is horrible.
Oh, no, I'm nice.
Why do I even get out of bed in the morning? Because it's all horrible.
It's a little bit different if it's constructive as well, though. So
Yeah, tell me why we're horrible. We
You summed it up pretty nicely.
everything you do in life sucks. Jimma, what did you do this week in World of Warcraft?
I went insane on the last boss of Emerald Nightmare, and Neil made.
Xavius?
Yeah, I haven't done Emerald Nightmare very often. Yeah,
Did you do it on Mythic?
You was standing in puddles.
I thought I had to, and it's funny because I went.
Oh,
when
he
I
wasn't
killed-
dreaming.
Yeah, and he was standing in the, they spew the stuff on the ground. If you stand in it, it does.
Yeah, I'm bad. I remembered Neil on Medivh. He does a lot of achievement runs. So I remember because I asked him, I wanted to get into an Emerald Nightmare because I don't have my corrupted essences. I wanted to finish that quest because it should have been done a long time ago.
4 months ago.
A couple months ago, right? So I got off work early. I hit him up. I got into a group, no problem. And I didn't listen to what he was saying because I was listening to a podcast and not a podcast, an interview, and I went insane. And the joke is on me, haha. And then just some boring Jimbo stuff. So I really wanted to get into Emerald Nightmare. And for you, Belle, or other people who haven't been in there or completed that quest, it's like 3 or 4 corrupted essences a boss. So it's
For the balance of power.
yeah, exactly. So it's quick, it's easy mode, and
So it's nice to see that the increase in drop rate was a good implementation.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do, I need gear, and I should have, I didn't want to do Emerald Nightmare, but I did want to finish that quest. And then, my best friend in WoW was like, hey, you want to run Heroic Emerald Nightmare and normal?
I didn't say that.
Right? Someone else did. And I told him, yes, I'll do it, and I didn't show up. So,
Wow.
I've done that. I went to sleep.
Terrible.
Also,
take- Well, I kind of just said
Right
yeah,
here in
'cause
this
I
chair,
wanted to
too.
do it. Yeah.
you're sitting there waiting, and then you fell asleep. Yep.
David, what did I mean? Secret.
Ooh, the government
I almost
name
went the
has
whole
been
show.
released. All right, so I did make a wager last week that I would get the Paladin to 110. I did within a few, like 4 hours after the show.
No way.
Yeah, I went from
Good man.
107 to
Sassadin, right?
to 110. Yeah, Sassadin.
Was this before or after you added the guildie and didn't send them a welcome package that week?
Around the same time.
Was it on Sassadin that you added them?
It sure was.
He
I
had
mean,
leveling.
I
You're
thought about
forgiven,
it.
though. That means you were leveling and you
Yeah.
were busy.
I thought about it, and for
Whoa,
like a hot
what?
second, I really did. And then I'm thinking like, leveling
What?
up, level up. Yeah. So,
You're the one that told on him, Rem. Be quiet.
ooh.
I think it was Rem.
I mean,
That's
it,
for leveling.
Oh, no, it wasn't Rem. It was somebody else. I don't remember.
well, nonetheless,
So you're
Great cover
maxed.
up.
yeah, I maxed out 110, and then I just started farming. World boss, whatever caches I could get,
Whatever to get you here.
thinking I'm gonna get a legendary right off the bat. Nope, not gonna happen.
Because
So
Rem got it. That's why.
I said I was gonna be item level 856,
And now you are?
I am. So I don't have relics to save my life. I have one damn relic.
So you let the listeners down, is what you're saying.
I did. I hit 844.
Well,
That's pretty
not
good. That's
terrible.
really good.
It's not. And I did have some friends, like some of the guys that live local. They ran me through a bunch of mythics real quick.
I
They
didn't run you.
They didn't want to, but I'm like, hey guys, like, let's do
Actually,
this,
local, hello.
please. And
Oh, you're like, I am actually local.
yeah, no, they're oh. And so they did. It was like a pure DPS run, and just whatever loot came down. I mean, I got it, but relics just are avoiding me. Trinkets are avoiding me, but it's fine. 2-piece LFR gear. Like I said, Hunter, Rogue, both are in full LFR tier gear, so it's actually really nice. So
What's up, SA? Don't you know
I-
I'm local?
Oh my god.
I didn't have a
so
chance to do
right.
any mythics, though, like mythic pluses. So
I haven't
we were
done any
trying
this
to
week either.
we were trying to do something before the show, and our main tank decided he was going to farm Alani, and he got into a group, and they killed it as soon as he got there.
Aw.
So he didn't even get to tag it.
Oh,
That's what he gets for abandoning you.
right?
He's actually on right now in the Valley of
It's not even a cool
just
mount,
waiting.
though.
It's
But-
not.
but it's a mount.
It's
so,
a mount.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's-
don't care about
It's
you.
nice to see you have weeks in WoW. I like
know.
seeing you playing. It's good stuff.
Yeah. That's
good.
cool.
We've got so many alts. You're gonna have all the companion pets soon.
I'm working on the monk next, so
Ooh.
Are you gonna level?
probably after I get my 20,000
I'll
resources
level
tonight.
with you. We got
Just
a level
don't promise people you're gonna hit an item level and not hit it, please.
I tried, man. I really did. I'm not
I
even
know
gonna lie.
you.
You put in a
No.
solid effort. You get, the points for. putting
Yeah.
it.
If I would have got the legendary, I probably would have been at least 850 for sure.
And Sauce, don't worry. If you want to duel, I'll duel you monk versus monk, okay?
All right.
Oh my. Rem. Surprise me with something I didn't know about what you did this
I
week.
know,
as
right?
well.
Not
Enlighten the
much.
audience.
Went down
please.
this week.
What happened?
Said not much.
Oh.
World quest, stealing legendaries.
Nice.
Falling off
Super
mountains.
casual progression. Got heroic Croesus down
Nice.
before the show,
Falling off mountains.
and I got a Warforged heroic tier piece chest. So I was
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
You mean a
Nice and
heroic
shiny.
Warforge?
hmm
I knew that's what you meant.
900 eye level,
Whoa, grats.
Mhm.
but I don't have the legendaries I need, so it's all good.
All right.
Well, they will.
Because you're
That's
stealing
life.
them from me. The gods. You've angered the gods.
On the wrong tune. Yeah.
You've angered the gods. That's too funny. Well, I mean, that 900 piece, I'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. Please.
You can't. Wrong class. Sorry.
True.
I haven't been raiding either
Truth.
to get gear, so there's that.
Oh, also, because what's her nuts, Zera Zelia, aka Jackie, is gone. I was thinking of doing the Emerald Nightmares solely to do essences.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I agree. I like it. Let's do it. Make it happen.
Yeah, I know someone on the show that still needs them.
I need like 4 more, 5 more, maybe.
Why are you
Okay.
pointing at Secret? I'm confused.
I was gonna say, no, that's on yours. And just in case I pointed the wrong way.
Yep, you're pointing the right way now.
There you go.
So my weekend WoW spent in PTR. I've been beating my fucking brains in, trying to get into these PvP brawls, because right now Warsong Scramble is up, and I'm trying to get video content. Fuck me, for like 3 hours, I was in that freaking queue, and nothing. Literally nothing.
Really?
So I go to Cathedral of Eternal Night. Okay, I'm 2-hour queue. My queue finally pops. 2-hour queue. My queue finally pops. We get in there. There's me, another DPS, a tank, and a healer. We go to kill the first boss. We wiped on the first boss. Obviously, we're down to DPS, so we're already having problems. The dungeon's difficult, guys. It's not easy. We wipe on that boss. That DPS leaves. Here I am with amazing Ari, and then Rowan.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure I butchered these names. I butchered them in the other video too. These guys, bless their hearts. Ari was a tank, and Rowan was an amazing healer. So we 3-manned this bitch. Like, we did it. They hung tough with me, and I appreciate that, because I really needed to get a full run through so that I could kind of see what we were looking at. But amazing tank and amazing healer, and it really sucks they got shackled with my shitty DPS, but we did it. Several wipes. The video itself with me removing the wipes, this is just trash, and the actual boss kills that we didn't wipe on, 45 minutes in the dungeon for 3 of us, which is not terrible. Now, I want to disclaim and say it was not easy for 3 of us, so you don't have to be concerned with the level of difficulty. This dungeon's going to be really sweet on Mythic, especially given some of the mechanics. Really sweet on Mythic. It was also interesting to me to do something, and I know the mechanics because I did the research in the dungeon journal myself, guys.
There you
You should
go.
be proud.
of you.
I am.
So,
Be excited.
funny part, we're on the last boss. We finally get 2 DPS. One of them is from Method, right? I'm super stoked because they're in the Method Guild, and like, I'm really happy. We would literally be like, yay, a DPS. And the last boss, which is
Mafishdroth.
Thank you. There's a thing that he does where you have to use the Aegis of Agrimar because Illidan is trying to, he goes into this phase where he duplicates himself. Illidan is trying to summon a spell that shows his form so that you can kill him. He phases out into this several things. So you have to use the Aegis of Agrimar to cover Illidan in the center of the room because all his little like copies of himself are hurling these purple orbs that one-shot you, by the way. Not fun.
Oh, fun.
And the purple orbs are coming from opposing directions. So the tank ideally uses the Aegis of Agrimar to, you actually use the Aegis twice during this run. You pick it up in the same place and you use it for 2 bosses. But you have to move it so that it doesn't, the ball bounces, the orb bounces while Illidan can complete the spell. Relatively easy boss, except if you one foul move with moving the shield around and you're screwed. You have to start all over because it's just burnt. It sucks because it takes him time to cast it. So there's these little infernals all around the room. They're the portal guardians, and they open the portals that are bringing all the ads. So I think this might be a different boss. Maybe I might have confused the boss. It might be the third boss. So anyway, so these infernals you're supposed to kill. What was the last boss? I know what I'm talking about. I don't remember. One of the bosses, guys. There's these portal guardians you have to kill. If you do not kill the portal guardians, they will keep summoning ads, and then ads will never disappear. It's never ending. All these demons keep coming out. So I say,
Sounds like a
hi,
mechanic.
can
You're
you
right.
please kill the fucking portal guardians? Guys, stop focusing on the other bullshit. Kill the portal guardians. I'm the only one killing them. I get frustrated. Then it dawns on us they are not American. Oh, well, no wonder you don't understand what I'm saying in chat. We assume they're Russian because of they're talking to each other at this point, right? They're talking to each other. I Google Translate, get the ads, get the portal guardians. I don't know if it translated properly, but I did use Google Translate to translate it into Russian. I popped it
kudos
into
to you
chat.
for trying it.
And Rowan was like, that's amazing. She was like, that's totally amazing that you just Google translated. But I did have a blast. I was really tired and I was frustrated and I was not going to just not be done. We finally did it because I think they finally figured out you have to kill the Portal Guardians on their own. I don't know that my message of Google translation actually went, but I ran it with a member of Method. So I'm pretty...
You want to know why it's so
happy with that.
difficult? Because me and Secret went there. You went without us.
Well, to be fair, though, like I had been... It's difficult.
Wait, that does not sound fair if you went without remedies and sauce.
I needed to get in there and do that, and I needed to get it done in the queue time. So what I would do is I would work on stuff for the PDQ while I would sit for the queue timer. I sat for 3 hours in the PvP brawl queue just to try to get it, and I have never been able to successfully do PvP and PTR. My queues never pop. So I'm going to try it again. Yeah, I'm trying it again. I'm catching every 7 days a new PvP brawl shows up, so I can capture the information on that because we have a couple of the brawls, but I'm doing that due diligence. But that was pretty much what I did. I spent my whole life in PTR this week because I wanted to make sure that I knew kind of what was going on, and that way...
Sounds productive, though. Sounds like you got a lot.
Good.
I did stuff in game too. Not getting a legendary was on the top of my list of things that I did, and I haven't been raiding because, Sundays, every Sunday I have drama with my teenager. Every Sunday, dude. And people think I'm making this crap up.
It's a day of the
No,
seven.
I'm not making this crap up. Every Friday and Sunday is
7.
some new type of drama, and then I'm so drained dealing with it, I don't want to get in raid and deal with raid. And then Mondays it's just difficult because I do show prep, and I don't want to jump right from raid to show. So...
Well, we need you to do a good prep, obviously, for us, because it ain't us boys doing it for you.
Gotta have preparation H on the whole. So, with that being said, we
Preparation
all
build.
had great weeks.
Chocolate ass cream.
Oh my god. We had great weeks. I feel like we have had a great show. I think Jimma said last week, are you ever going to say it was a bad show?
Yeah. I thought of that as soon as you said it. I'm like, have we had one? We just got a good track record, people.
If you watch the older episodes, we had bad shows where I literally was like, what the hell did we just do? So...
Well, yeah, before me and these guys.
You're
but
right,
like,
before the pros joined the ranks. I'm pretty happy with the direction of the way things are going.
I just shake my head a lot.
And we are in the
Right.
we're in the prelim stages of planning for BlizzCon. We are going to change things up, I think, with the party name too. But we're in the prelims. We're waiting for the official word from Blizzard on when BlizzCon's going to be. But we're ramping up to improve a little bit. And
so basically, you are telling everyone that we are going to host another.
we are
party.
hosting a party, and it is going to be very similar. I'll make some minor tweaks and changes according to the feedback that we've been given from other people and stuff like that. But it was than that.
It'd be great, obviously, to meet people at the party, to new people, of course. But it'd be nice to also have people that went to the first one also come to the second one.
Yes, for sure.
So they can see the differences. So
yeah, and we want people. So if Wednesday is going to be when it's at. We're going to do it every Wednesday of every BlizzCon.
And remember, even if they're not going to BlizzCon and they live in the area, they can still come party.
Come on down. But we are in the prelim stages of doing that, so be looking for that. I'll be looking to you guys to help with the Kickstarter. I'm going to do the Kickstarter differently this year. I'm not going to have an artist make anything custom. It was no offense to anything dealing with it. I like being in control of what we're doing, and I don't like relying on other people. So we're actually going to be doing bulk custom items, which is going to be better because it's t-shirts and all other cool stuff, posters. We'll be doing some bulk custom items for the Kickstarter because I can just order that and I can send it out and know that it's there in a timely manner. And
it's gonna be a poster like us for I
don't know. I haven't decided. We have so much time. We can start planning. We have time to start doing that little by little after each show. So I'm excited for the stuff we have planned.
Twice as many glow bracelets?
Yes, but we are going to get on out of here because it is a little bit late and I am old as shit. I have work in the morning and I have to be productive because I have videos to make.
Yeah.
Guys, what a great show.
Yeah.
Thank you for working with me every week. I love and appreciate all of you for doing this with me. And to those of you who listen and watch and even the ones that dislike, thank you for supporting what we do here, and thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, super friend.
You got a friend.
Now,
what is that song from? Is that Perfect Strangers?
No.
Thank you for being
Toy Story?
No, it's a show.
Fail, dude.
It's Toy
You're
Story.
singing the wrong song.
Oh,
I don't know English. But we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like the video. Tons of you watch this video. We get like 1,000 views per video every week. Why don't I have 1,000 likes? Guys, give us a thumbs up. Show Belle that we can surpass the likes this week. I want to try to get 200 likes on this video. Who is with me and will give me 200 likes on this video? If you are watching this video right now, I need you to love me, okay? Love me.
Long
love Jimma,
time.
Love Secret, love Rem. If you are listening to this on iTunes, hop over to the YouTube channel. Give a thumbs up. Thumbs up is good. It means you love what we do. Thumbs up.
So I should stop
Thank
disliking
you.
them. Okay.
Comments. Keep the comments. I want to hear all about your weeks in WoW. Comment your week in WoW today, right now. Type week in WoW.
I mean, I'll read them. She'll try and hear them. It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't like him. Okay, we're getting out of here. Bye, guys.
You love him.
Do I?
The Perfect Strangers theme song was good though.
No.
Oh, I saw that earlier.
I know. I'm doing that to all U-Hauls now.
That's so awesome.
They win at life. That's like the best ever.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was intended or if that's really like their kids' toys.
It's probably their kids' toys.
They probably.
Yeah.
Flashback to when. Oh, we're still rolling.
Cut.
I was gonna say something super personal, but then I
That's a
decided to.
good time to cut it though.
Just kidding. No, seriously.